All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Raw Dogs Radio. I'm your host, Masante Bay. All right. So we all saw the preseason game. It went pretty well, especially for Baker Mayfield. Of course, the Browns got another win. That makes them 5-0 in preseason games, as if that means anything. uh, but they're 5-0, so we can work with that. Now, let's deal with Hard Knocks episode 1 right off the bat. Nick Chubb, the Nick Chubb situation at the airport. I have to talk about that. You have your number 1 pick and your second round pick. Both guys are coming in within a half an hour of each other. You roll out the welcome wagon for Baker Mayfield. You have Nick Chubb and Baker Mayfield rooming together, but yet Baker Mayfield is, from what we saw, by himself with a camera crew. No Browns representative, from what we saw, was standing there with him. You saw people coming up to him, standing there, asking him if he played football and everything, giving him a little congratulations and whatnot. They didn't even realize that, hey, this is our second round pick, our possibly starting running back. And it looked like he felt kind of isolated. And it reminded me of the scene in Jerry Maguire, where Jerry Maguire was trying to sign the star quarterback, the number 1 draft pick and everything. Meanwhile, you had this wide receiver who was full of bravado, was sitting here by himself being ignored. Of course, the wide receiver went on to become something up. He made something of himself. He hustled, he played hard, and he got the big contract. All's well that ends well. It's almost like the same thing with Nick Chubb. Now, as we saw, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but as we saw in Hard Knocks, he was out there pass blocking. He was picking up blitzes. He was blocking linebackers, taking on defensive ends, defensive linemen. He looked pretty good. And in the preseason game, although he had struggles running the football, mainly because that right side is having a hard time blocking both pass and run, because if you look at where all the pressure was coming from, the majority of the pressure was coming from the right side, right tackle, right guard. He had trouble running the football, but when he was asked to pass block, you saw he picked up blocks. He picked up blitzes. When he caught the pass out of the backfield, you saw that he had speed and shiftiness and power as he bulled forward. He wasn't tackled backwards outside of the running plays. All right. Was he a little hesitant in picking holes? Yes, he was, because you still have to learn how to run in the NFL. It's not as easy as people think it is. It's different than college. In college, the holes last for maybe 3 to 5 seconds, whereas in the NFL, you've got a half a second at the most to hit the hole. So you have to adjust to the speed of the game. But at any rate, I didn't like how they snubbed him like that. Carl Nassib's financial advice that he was giving out, as far as if they threw $100,000 in a savings account and just forgot that it existed. All right. As he showed, within 20, 30 years, you'd be a millionaire. Actually, less than that, because of compound interest. You'd be great. You wouldn't have to worry about it. And that's sound financial advice. Like, trust me, I know. Like, one of the things how I helped build my credit up to 750 was at the bank. I got a secure credit card. I put the max amount on it, and then I just sat there and I just let it sit there. And what happens is the bank will charge, like my bank charges me $10 a month to have the secure credit card, which is really, I'm loaning money to myself. They charge me $10 a month to loan money to myself. As long as I meet that $10 charge, they're fine. So I just let the money sit there. It takes about, because I put 300 on it. I got a max card of 300. It's going to take them 2.5 years to eat that whole 300. But meanwhile, every month, what happens is they take the $10 out. My credit gets a ding, a positive ding, 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 ding. Card note. I have that on automatic deduction. Each time it comes out, that my card note gets paid. Ding, ding, ding. Positive credit score, flat out. Any type of credit cards that you have, ding, ding, ding. At any rate, that's not what we're here to talk about. Jarvis Landry's speech. I do have to get on that. Mr. Blessum, as we're going to call him. We're going to call him Mr. Blessum. Uh, he was out there, and it's funny, out of all the wide receivers that's been there during Christian Kirksey's time as a Browns linebacker, this is the first time you've ever heard him say that we've heard him say, we've got a playmaker in Jarvis Landry. Like, we got a playmaker. Him and Jamie Collins both were standing there watching in awe, like, oh my gosh, like somebody that can actually catch the ball, that can move the ball, that's hustling out there. Great. We love that. We need that. And when Jarvis Landry gave his speech, okay, his contagious speech, as I call it, when he stood up and he was cursing out everybody, he was specifically talking to Corey Coleman, who, of course, as we know, is no longer a Brown. Because Corey Coleman, although he was a number one pick and shouldn't have been at that time, I would have loved if they would have went after Ezekiel Elliott back during that draft. Or because they passed on Carson Wentz. Oh my God. If you're going to pass on Carson Wentz, you got to get a superstar. So you should have got Ezekiel Elliott. At either rate, whatever, it's water under the bridge. He was not worth a number one pick. And as you can see, the Browns traded him to Buffalo, Obscurityville, for a seventh round pick because he was dropping passes in practice. He was loafing around. Okay. He was acting like he was hurt simply because he was sore. He wasn't concentrating. He was a wasted pick. And we know what that comes from, which is the next segment. Todd Haley versus Hugh Jackson. Now, this has had a lot of people in an uproar and all in a tizzy, with some people taking Hugh Jackson's side, but a lot of people taking Todd Haley's side. What a lot of people need to understand is that these coaches that have been assembled, okay, by Dorsey, these are guys who have Super Bowl rings. These are guys whose teams have went to playoffs time and time again. Every year, there's like, okay, yeah, his team's going to the playoffs. Steelers playoffs, Chiefs playoffs. You understand? Patriots playoffs, Packers playoffs. You went out and got guys who were winners that know how to play the game. You went out and got coaches that know how to coach players. So when the running back coach suggested, like, hey, I know these guys are, you're trying to keep these guys fresh, keep them from getting hurt or whatnot. They're a little dinged up, but can we put them in pads and put them on bikes so that way they're just not standing around in a jersey looking like a damn fan? And Hugh Jackson was like, no. And what happened? Immediately, Todd Haley was like, okay, look, you're coaching like a punk. When he said living in our fears, like you scared of these guys getting hurt. It's football. You're going to have injuries. People are going to get hurt. Excuse me. I know you don't want them to get hurt in training camp, but that's part of the game. It's Camp Cupcake. You're talking about coaches who come from organizations where they are knocking the hell out of each other in practice because they're going to get the hell knocked out of them in the regular season. So be ready for it. Fight through the pain, fight through the adversity. Therefore, you will have a tough mentality. Oh, your little leg hurt too? Is it broken? No. Then get your butt back up on the line. Get back in the practice line. Let's go. If it's not, like Jarvis Landry said, if it's not broke, if your hamstring ain't hanging off the bone, get your butt out there. I don't want to hear nothing about tightness. Drink water. That's why we have Gatorade here. Every time you run a play in practice, go drink you a drink of Gatorade. I don't care if you're thirsty or now. Your body will urinate it right out. But go get you something to drink. Stop playing. So Todd Haley was correct in his assessment as he backed up the running backs coach. Like, hey, let's at least get these guys in a position to where they're at least getting some type of mental reps, something. And of course, Hugh Jackson shot it down, and then pulled the "well, I'm the head coach" card. And what tripped me out was that Haley and Greg Williams have been head coaches, and they looked at each other like, "Did he just say that? Like, excuse me, have you checked the resume, bro? Like, it doesn't matter whether we're winning head coaches or not, but we've been head coaches too, and we've been around head coaches that win despite not having the talent to win every year. I mean, take a look at the Steelers. Their defense is garbage. And I always thought it was funny. You let Todd Haley go, but it wasn't Todd Haley's offense that gave up over 40 points to Jacksonville. They were trying to match Jacksonville point for point, but the defense couldn't stop him. But you let Todd Haley walk. Was Pittsburgh, you morons. But at any rate, I think Todd Haley knows what he's talking about. I give him the benefit of the doubt. He has a better pedigree than Hugh Jackson. So, whatever, as far as recent pedigree. Whatever. But I get the feeling that Hugh Jackson doesn't win at least 7 games, then Todd Haley will probably be promoted to head coach. All right. So, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk about the preseason game. Now, of course, Saquon Barkley, he ripped one right out the gate, but it was the first play of the game, so I discount that. Plus his preseason, I discount that because he really didn't do much after that. Although I think they only played like maybe 1.5 series. I'm not sure because I was really worried about the Browns. Um, I didn't like how the secondary looked outside of Denzel Ward and Peppers. These guys, they are going to need some type of cohesion. They've got to get together. And the one thing that I saw during Hard Knocks when they were showing the practice was that these guys were getting burnt like crazy by Jarvis Landry to the point where they wanted to fight because he was talking mess about them. And it's like, hey, look, if you want to shut a guy up, stop letting him make plays on you. If you want to shut a guy up, don't let him catch. Don't let him make the catch. He was catching everything all over these guys. That's why Christian Kirksey said, "Oh my God, I think we've got a playmaker." So come next year, the Browns will be working on the draft. They'll be working on their secondary and their wide receivers again. Because it looks like it looks like you're going to need another stud. No telling what's going on with Josh Gordon, but I am so sick of the Josh Gordon thing. I swear, if he takes one more, I gotta go to rehab or take some time off to get my head together. Break one more time, I'm done with him. The Josh experiment, really, to me, it's over already. But let's give him one last chance. Um, that was a good back shoulder throw. All right, by excuse me, Jesus, I don't know what's going on with my throat here. Uh, by Tyrod Taylor, that was a good back shoulder throw. I will give him that. That was very nice. Duke Johnson, of course, looks good as usual. Hopefully, he'll get a lot more touches and carries out of the backfield this season. I mean, you do have Todd Haley has a full autonomy over the offense, so let's see how that rolls. Um, Njoku has stepped up and started making catches because last year he had a lot of the dropsies and a lot of the laziness, but it looks like that he's come into camp ready to play, ready to be what he is, a first round draft pick. It looks like he's ready to step up and do that because I think what it is, I think the quarterback room, be it Mayfield, all right, and Tyrod Taylor, they come in, they're ready to work. They're ready to go. It looks like they expect their wide receivers and their offensive line and everyone around them to perform at a high level. So it looks like you got that from your offense outside of the right side of your offensive line, but particularly Spencer Drango. But you know, you can have the heart, but the ability sometimes is lacking. Um, of course, Miles Garrett is bending corners. As you saw, he got to Eli quickly. Eli was like, "Oh my God!" Like it was like he wasn't expecting Miles Garrett to be there. He scared him. Like you walk around the corner and somebody jump out of the closet on you. Boo! You scared them like that. So I like that. Uh, Hollywood Higgins. Ever since last year's cut and then the bring back, he has really stepped up his game. He has really stepped up his game because he said when he came back, I'm never going to let that happen to me again. And after that, he went out and scored the touchdowns against Pittsburgh. And now here in the preseason, this looked like he's catching everything thrown his way. I didn't see him make a drop. He was going all diving for balls, everything. I like that. He was hustling. I like that. I think Jarvis Landry kind of lit a fire up under him to where he wanted to step up his game, but still, I like that. No drops. Um, the defensive line is getting pressure, as is the linebacker, that front seven. I really like that front seven. You can see that they're hitting the holes quickly. They've got a lot of energy, a lot of burst. Okay, especially within the interior, it looks like they're having a hard time blocking those guys, which I like. But it's still, again, first preseason game. We'll see how it goes next week. Um, all right, so let's deal with Baker Mayfield because that's who we're really focused on. We're really focused on Baker. Now, I watched about, let's see, how many drives I watched. I watched 6 drives before I was like, okay, I've seen enough. In the first drive, he had one incompletion and that's which was an overthrow to Njoku, but that's because he was under pressure by the goal line. So he threw it where if Njoku couldn't get it, then it was going to fall incomplete. That's what he did. Okay, so you have the one incompletion. All right, because people were tripping about his completions. All right. In the second drive, his first pass was a deep back shoulder to Higgins. Deep back shoulder throw. Higgins ran that perfectly. He ran deep down the right side. He stopped. Boom. Ball fell perfectly in the breadbasket out of bounds. First down. Okay. Oh, you know what? I take it back. I said that Higgins didn't drop a pass. I lied. Higgins did drop the next pass to him, which was a screen pass where they just dump it right there at the line of scrimmage. Higgins was trying to run before he made the catch. He took his eyes off the ball. Boom. Okay, so that's 2 incompletions. All right. So on the next pass that he threw, it was a deep pass to Callaway down the left side that Callaway touched, but he couldn't catch it. So that was a drop. Okay, that's the third drop. But the defender was all over Callaway, grasping at his shoulder pads and whatnot. The refs did not call it. So that was pass interference that was not called. So that's your third drop. Now, on third and long, he rolled out to the left. Okay, showed great pocket presence. He was looking to throw, had his eyes downfield. Nothing was there, so he took off and ran, and he got the first down. Okay. Uh, the next pass that he threw, it was incomplete due to pressure. They were coming in on the right side. He threw it down the right sideline towards the end zone off his back foot while falling backwards. The wide receiver on that play, I couldn't get his number, but if he just would have hustled and just stopped running, adjusted to the ball, he would have caught it at the 1 yard line. Period. Whether he went in on momentum or fell down after the catch, it was a catchable pass that wasn't caught. So that's an incompletion. The fourth one. Uh I like Days. Matthew Days. He took a little delay handoff. He cut up the field with his jukey moves, because do understand that's what he is. He's a nice little scat back. Um, if Carlos Hyde doesn't work out, I would say you put Matthew Days in as the third back. That way you don't have to worry about carries. You don't have somebody in the backfield fighting over carries like if you had Chubb, Hyde, and Duke Johnson back there. If you had Chubb, Johnson, and Matthew Days, then Matthew Days could come in and spell somebody, particularly on passing downs. But you would be all right. Okay. So it's whatever. We'll see what happens with Carlos Hyde. All right. Now Chubb, as I said, Nick Chubb, I like him. But again, he's got to learn how to hit those holes in the NFL. He's got to learn to hit those holes. But we'll see what happens. Now, in Joku, this was the pass, this was the touchdown pass. It was perfectly thrown. It was thrown high and it was thrown tight and hard. Okay. So where in Joku, who stands, I think, 6'5", if he wasn't going to make the catch, it was going to be incomplete. And then you kick a field goal. He didn't throw it low for a possible interception, but he threw it high to where either it was either going to be caught or it was going to be incomplete. It was almost like a Dwight Clark type of pass. And I love that because he was under pressure. He was dancing in the pocket, but he had the great pocket presence to avoid the pressure, step up, eyes downfield, boom, perfect pass, touchdown. I like that. So again, we're on 4 incompletions. Third drive, he moved well. He was under pressure on the right side, kept his eyes downfield. His eyes didn't go down. He didn't look at the pressure. He rolled out to the left. He threw a pass to Higgins. It was low, but Higgins hustled and he made the catch. He made a diving catch for a first down. Now, the next 2 passes, both of them were incomplete because he was under pressure. The one he tried to make a sideline pass to the right. Again, the pressure's coming from the right. He tried to throw a sideline pass to the left to Callaway. Callaway didn't get there fast enough because he had to get rid of the ball fast. So boom, that was incomplete. The third incompletion. So boom, boom. Okay. So we're dealing with 6 incompletions now. He had to throw it away. Nobody was open. The right side gave up the pressure. He rolled left, threw it out of bounds. Boom. End of that drive. The fourth drive, the only pass that he threw, it was incomplete on a crossing route because he hit the defender in the helmet. That one I chalk up to him. Okay. Fifth drive, no pass. He didn't throw a pass on the fifth drive. It was all runs, which I thought was dumb, but I guess they wanted to be like, hey, we're going to work on this running game on that drive. Whatever, just like in the fourth drive. Now, in the sixth drive, you had the screen pass to Callaway. All right. That worked out well after uh, Chubb lost 3-4 yards on a run play to the left. So he threw the screen pass to Callaway. Callaway almost got the first down. He's short of the first down by 2. But then he rolled right on this next pass. He rolled right in the perfect sideline strike to Callaway. All right, the one that they said was incomplete, but they reviewed it and said that he caught it. That was a perfect catch by Callaway. Perfect toe drag swag by Callaway. I loved it. Okay. The next deep pass, Callaway dropped it. All right, so that's your 7th drop. That was your 7th drop. After that, I was like, okay, I've seen enough. This kid, he's got the accuracy, he's got the pocket presence, he's got the wherewithal. It's just a matter now of him learning the playbook and learning how to read NFL style defenses. Now, do understand that the Giants were out there with a vanilla defense. It is a different story when it's live bullets week 1 through 16, 17. Playoffs is all a different game. Defenders like the defensive coaches and defenders like to disguise and hide their coverages and intentions. They like to bait. It is a grown man's chess game out there. So before we start saying, hey, I think he should start, nope, not just yet. Not just yet. We'll see how he does when the Browns are losing by more than 2 touchdowns. The game appears to be out. Put him in for a 2 minute drill or whatnot. Put him in the fourth quarter just to see how he handles it. I doubt the Browns will suffer those type of losses where they're down by 14. Not with the way that this defense has been constructed, not the way with the way this offense has been constructed. But more than likely, if anything, if you really want to test out where Baker Mayfield is with his defensive reading ability, what you do is when you put him in practice, you don't go easy on him, Greg Williams. You hide the packages. You disguise the looks. You disguise the coverages, and see how he does, flat out. Now, I want to take it back to the drive two because I almost missed it. It was 4th and 2. He dropped back the pass from the shotgun. Nothing was there. He ran for that first down. Again, he kept his eyes up. And this is what I'm noticing. He doesn't run because he feels like it. He only runs when it's necessary. That's beautiful. I like that because you don't want a quarterback, he makes one read and he takes off. You don't want a quarterback that makes two reads and he takes off. You want a quarterback that knows the playbook, that can see the whole field, that can go from 1 through 5, 1 through 3. How many reads he has? He has the time to go through the reads and then boom, hit it. Now, the one thing the Browns definitely need to work on, they definitely need in the off season, at the end of this year, you have got to work on that offensive line some more. Joe Batonio looked decent at left tackle. It's probably going to take a while for him to get used to it, but man, you really, I would say you need to work. You need to find a left tackle in the draft. You need to find a left tackle. Put Joe Batonio back at left guard. Take Austin Corbett, put him at right guard. Okay. And hopefully right tackle works out because I'm not liking this. I am not liking this. This is shades of 2 years ago when you had Austin Pastor out there. I'm not liking Greco was out. I am not liking this at all. Mm-mm. This offensive line looks to be a little rat-a-tat-tat on that right side, and the left side it's okay, but how long can it go? So that's pretty much all I have to say about that. We'll see how it goes. Next week, I'm going to try to do a uh separate video dealing with, excuse me, with Hard Knocks. I meant to do that, but I've been busy this week, so I combined the two considering how close they were together. But we will go from there. I will see you guys later. Peace out. Go Browns.